We've had a couple of really nice sunny, breezy days the last few days, and then tomorrow it looks like it's gonna be overcast in the morning and then raining the day after raining. So I'm gonna take a little bit of effort here to harvest some of these sunflowers and a bit of the amaranth. I took a pass at this with Juan the other day, but I'm gonna document a little bit how we're going about it, set up some good curing systems for our living room once wood stove season begins. So I'll share notes on what I'm thinking here. These are mammoth gray stripe sunflower. I don't think that I would describe these as, oh my gosh, they're so fully dry and ripe. I think a couple of them, if they're really pale, I might leave them, although there's nice color starting to develop in the lines there. One like this, where all the petals are really dry and crumble off pretty easily, and there's quite a bit of darkness around each shell. There's a nice stripe of gray in this mammoth gray stripe sunflower. I think this one for sure is ready to take. I'm gonna knock all of these petals off in the field so that it's a little bit cleaner as to what I'm bringing back into the house. And then I think what I'll do is cut some of these bigger leaves off, but leave some stubs so I have something to hang on, like a little hooks, hanging hooks at different heights here. So I'm going to snip these off so it holds the option of hanging them at different heights in our living room drying system later on. That'll make more sense in a bit. And now this one's ready to cut. I'm going to default to cutting them somewhere around here, so I'll use loppers for that and then lay them up next to the car. Got a bunch more like this to take in. I think leaving the stem and hanging it upside down in a space with good airflow will allow a little bit more energy to flow into finishing these seeds. But I suspect this is actually a pretty nicely done head of sunflower. And so long as we have good airflow and then in cool nights we're running a wood stove or having a little warmth, I think this should dry down the rest of the way. And it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4 at least look as good as that one ready to go. I almost forgot there were butternut vines in here. You find them with your toe and then you realize, oh, it's time to harvest. So grab the butternuts out of here too. A couple of sunflowers. Pretty wonderful. That's one seed to that many seeds in about 90 days with no intervention other than pushing the seed in the ground in early June. A little more to harvest. And the stalks that are finished, I'm just stepping them over and letting them slowly fold down to the ground and feed the earth in a slow way over winter. I'm going to leave this one as an experiment. It feels like it could use a little more time anyway. It's kind of pale. What happens when it experiences a few days of rain and overcast and then hopefully some warmer weather later? Maybe it's a better harvest later on and I'll learn from that. This one's really close to the ground, so it seems like a nice offering to the rabbits and the voles. This one's kind of funky. I don't know that I want those genetics necessarily, but they're huge seed, weird seed. That'll probably feed the birds. And that one over there, I don't know, seems like it's too far away to pick. I'll process some of this amaranth back at our home, but I've already taken quite a bit from this field. And the idea of just leaving these to stand for the winter, it feels like this is just such a slow, even release of food for wildlife over the winter months, and it might sport and come back next year. So a light harvest on the amaranth at this point, with most of it being in the field, seems like a nice gesture in a bunch of directions. But we'll work that over and get some additional seed. That's for another time. This patch is worked over, but that'll be a nice feeling for wildlife for the winter. It's a lot of slow breakdown biomass, a lot of complexity. It would be really nice to leave it as it is and reassess in the spring. Oop, I forgot one there. So I'll grab those, and then that's the butternut, and that's the sunflower from just that one patch. Literally just making piles of rotten stuff on the ground, pushing in sunflower seed, pushing in butternut seed, and scattering some amaranth seed about 90 days ago. So pretty winning thing in the warm months for some of the staple crops that many folks around the globe have relied on for thousands of years. Really love working with this kind of amazing plants. There's actually a whole lot of sunflower over there, over there, over there, and over there. I got my work cut out for me for the rest of this. I think I have in here about as much as I can handle for today. I want to know that we can hang them correctly and that they start drying down correctly before we finish everything out here. But a fair bit of the harvest is in. The ones that made smaller heads, they are taking longer to set seed. That's fine, we can wait. There are 1 or 2 were kind of blown out. That's a nice opportunity just to leave that on the ground for turkeys and whoever wants to eat those. And then I've got my favorite friend here, the easternmost sunflower. I truly am excited to collect seed from this. So this one will be cut last and stored in its own spot. This will be the source of the seed for most of our planting next year. I just absolutely adore what that genetic package looks like. The thickness of the leaves, the massiveness of the head. It almost feels like a cloaked being, one huge eye looking down. You're a cool, weird one. Time to go hang them. Really simple hanging system that we're beginning the trialing process of in our living room. We've got our wood stove in here, and so we're using high tension laundry string, wire, rope, with penny washers and screws. So it makes a really nice purchase on the string, holds it really strong up against the joists. And this lattice work can hang lots and lots of different things, socks and underwear and whatnot, and dry herbs, but then also can hang our sunflowers. So I'm going to see if we can fit the harvest across here, but leave a little bit of room to walk through here. So we'll fill out the rest of this whole space and then see where that puts us. Probably about twice as much of this remains in the field, but for now this is good enough. This is where it'll have to be for the day. That lattice work up there is working nicely. I'll make a separate video about that. I really love the idea of penny washers, and they make for a really strong way to have string and rope hold up, as demonstrated here. One length of that string is holding this entire sunflower crop just with the pennies and the screws. There's our favorite friend for seed for next year. Front and center, we can keep a real close eye on that, bop our head into it. We'll have to see how the rest of this goes. I'm probably going to clean the stovepipe in the next day or two, clear out the wood stove area, fill our new wood hopper that I just built, and run a lightweight wood heat tomorrow evening just to start drying these out a bit and giving ourselves a cozy evening. But that is it for now. Sunflower harvest begins. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are in all the directions. Are we making reasonable work here, or are there things I'm really missing? Look forward to showing you how it all unfolds. Thanks for watching.